We'll go ahead and get started with some text stuff, though. There is one thing that I wanted to ask y'all because I genuinely can't remember. I have this empty text document with this sentence in it. Finally, Henut im Unu Mehu, mistress in Heliopolis of the North, Garbledy Dendera. Why in the world did I wrote this down when we were together?
Oh,
I know what that is.
Because we were looking at that M. I had asked a question about the M Nesut and what the M was doing. We were talking about the M of occupation or whatever it was. And I think we went searching through text and you found an example of something. I think it relates to that.
Okay, the M of predication.
Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, I wasn't sure. Sometimes the mic is not working. No. Yeah, there was some kind of online source about Dendera temples where this one showed up.
I was going to look it up in the publications of the Dendera temple for some reason. Okay.
You were going to check the context, I think, to see if it was an example of what we were talking about or not.
Yeah.
Because they had this quote, but you couldn't find the actual inscription because it's not online.
Okay. Well, that's all good. I mean, I think it is an example of what we're talking about. Did everybody read Foy's paper about the M of predication that was shared last time? What happened to it? Where is that posted? I've already closed the tab that it was in. I just tried to type his name and see if it pops up in my history. No. Shoot. Okay. Well, where's the link to that paper? I'll have to look for it. Do we share it on Discord?
It's in the advanced students thread on Discord. Right, a bit higher, right under Buteamun. There it is.
Yeah.
Or above.
Okay, so it's there for y'all to read if you choose to. I read it, and in case you don't read it, the quick summary is that in Gardner and in subsequent books about Egyptian language and in things that I've told you, the message has been repeated that the M of predication, so like EUF M Wau, he is as a soldier, expresses a sort of like temporary status, whereas nominal sentences like Waupu in Middle Egyptian, he is a soldier, express a more permanent thing or more essential characteristics. And Foy basically lays out the evidence and thoroughly demolishes that idea. It seems to have originally been sort of a notion based on abstract principles, like, well, the adverbial sentence tends to express things like location or temporary states of being. So if we have an adverbial sentence expressing some sort of identity relationship, that must be like a status type relationship, or it must be something temporary, whereas nominal sentences tend to express permanent qualities or permanent situations, whatever, stable things. So if we have a nominative sentence, nominal sentence expressing that, it must express something essential or something permanent. And Foy basically just piles in a bunch of examples and says, like, that's clearly false. There are sentences that use the M of predication to express essential characteristics. There are texts where within the same text, it expresses something as a nominal sentence and then later as an adverbial sentence. And it really only depends on whether the identity that's being expressed is embedded in a main clause or in a subordinate clause. In subordinate clauses, it tends to use the adverbial sentence. In main clauses, it tends to use the nominal sentence. Has nothing to do with whether it's permanent or temporary or status or essence or any of those things. That's just something that people thought. And then the error was propagated through the Egyptological literature. So I say all of that to emphasize that what I told y'all last time was not correct, because I think I mentioned that exact idea last time, and it's not true. Foy's paper thoroughly disproves that beyond any reasonable doubt in my mind. And I insist that you read it if you can, and you can decide for yourself. But yeah, I think you'll come to the same conclusion. It is, yeah, the case is open and shut. Okay, so we have here a good M of predication. Oh, why is my iPad being so terrible? Just disconnected, so I can't actually annotate. Sorry about this. I don't know why I'm having suddenly so many difficulties with my annotation system. Let's try again. Haha, okay, it's there. All right, so we had this subject, ka imunu, which is confusing because this isn't a relative, but leaving that aside. And then we have an M of predication. Ka imunu, the bull in Heliopolis, is as the good king of the beloved land. This is an identity statement structured syntactically as an adverbial sentence. From the fact that it's an adverbial sentence, we cannot assume that it's a temporary state of being or a non-essential characteristic based on that paper. Okay. So that's a correction more than anything, but an important one. And also a great one, because it means that like we've gotten to the point where we're reading academic papers to further refine our understanding of this text. And we're kind of, when was this published? So even though this is sort of an introductory class, we're reading, in Egyptological terms, very recent academic papers to update our understanding as we go. So that's, you know, this is at this point, like a grad level course, which is exciting. Okay, any questions or thoughts about that before we dig into the text some more?
So can we just go over the glyphs in Hieratic again?
Yeah. The hieratic or just the hieroglyphs?
Both, I guess. So the ta is broken by the lacuna, but it's that line there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And then the rest of it is Mary.
Yeah.
So what does the staff on the R do? Like that looks like a Y, a reed leaf, except there's an extra stroke, I guess.
It's normally a tear sign. So it's normally a biliteral, and it's also associated with words like resi, that means southern. What is it doing here? I mean, it's probably vocalized as something like T at this time period, so it could be tameriti or tamerit, which is actually what the word ends up being. Even in the masculine, it ends up having a T on the end. So maybe it's just sort of a phonetic thing. Not totally sure. In an effort to fully answer that question, I would probably have to, I mean, this is the quick and dirty way of doing it, just looking in a dictionary, finding a bunch of examples. Let me see if I can quickly find a few examples. What did we have? We had Mary. No, that's probably not going to match because there are two glyphs. Yeah.
Is actually say it is a determinative, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so too. It is possible that it's phonetic. It's possible that it's both, as we've you know, oh, good. Wow. That is a thoughtfully written alert message. Way to go, coders at Adobe. Outdoing yourself with that one. Good Lord. Just output just straight code next time if you're gonna do that. Okay, so here's phonetic. So this is something I often do when I have a sign that I'm just not quite sure what to do with. I'll just like basically just pile through as many examples as I can look at in the space of like 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, all these are phonetic, tear or T, just as we would expect. So we're gonna collect a bunch of phonetic ones, and we're also going to start seeing some more ideographic ones. That one doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. It has to do with youth. That's normally the sign without the R on the bottom, but they could, you know, the way Egyptian is, they could easily use the sign with the R on the bottom. All of these, it's also phonetic, but it's being connected with the triliteral that looks fairly similar. So, okay, let's get away from that. And expressions of time, not surprising to see that because that little sedge thing or that staff has something to do with time here. Phonetic, also tear. Also phonetic, and that's it. Okay, so we have, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and whether there's an R or a T on the bottom, are those the same sign or different signs?
Yes.
Okay.
Classic hieroglyph question where the answer is yes.
Well, how would you even tell in the hieratic which one it is?
You very often can't, and like, how would you? Okay, so even if you can tell, what would enable you to decide what any kind of difference is between that sign? Because it's one of these cases where if you're doing a research, like a double-blind research study, and there isn't enough separation in the probability distributions of the results from your two samples, you can no longer say that there's actually like a statistically significant effect of the thing you're testing. We have a similar thing happening with hieroglyphs that look very similar. They're so often conflated with one another by actual Egyptian scribes that we actually can't disentangle their usages clearly enough to say that one is used for one thing and one is used for another thing. They just fully overlap. So even if it were the case that they do have some kind of meaningful distinction, they were used so interchangeably that whatever that distinction is completely buried to us in our evidence. Does that make sense? There's just no way to extract them. You're trying to unmix paint colors at that point.
So Gardner picking this one just means that like he'd seen the word in hieroglyphic transcriptions before or a similar word, and he just picked that one. Like,
yeah, and I don't even know for sure that Gardner picked that one. Gardner might have picked the one with the T on the bottom, and I might have written this one.
They're hard to tell apart. I think he used the one with the R on the bottom.
Okay, good. Well, I got that right then. But it's like, what's the difference between either and either? As far as I can tell, they are truly interchangeable. Maybe there's some dialectal trends. Yeah, there's a difference in pronunciation, but it's not meaningful. It carries no information whatsoever. And like, so this is another case where the information content of this sign versus the other sign is negligible. It's practically zero. It's 1,000th of a bit. It just doesn't, we just cannot say that it means anything. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe we need to do like a really big, corpus study and find that there is in fact a nuanced distinction between the two. My guess is that there isn't.
And the second mute is like, it's just because we're expecting two of them. Like,
that one I think, Oh yeah, the fact that they look different in the hieratic is kind of tricky, but this word is commonly written this way. I think it's just, yeah, they just look slightly different. As for the two newts, why do you think there are two newts?
Last time I said it was false dual.
I think that's partially true. I
Newt.
think that's correct.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.
False dual. I also think it could be like a visual reference to the two lands concept, sort of the duality of Egypt. And these are not exclusive answers, right? It can be both. That's the great joy of studying Egyptian, is realizing that all the very clever things we do as linguists or philologists are totally undermined by the fact that our absolute answers are so often simultaneously true. They're in a sort of superposition of correct answers.
Okay, thanks.
I want to name that like the Egyptological uncertainty principle or something. I want to give it a really highfalutin name because it is like that. It really is. It's like, we cannot collapse those into an answer.
Semantic superposition. There you go.
Semantic superposition. Yes. If any literary critics who hear you say that should be kicking themselves for not having thought of it. It's a great term. Okay. So I feel like we've done all the hieratic and translation up to here, and then we've done all the translating of the hieroglyphs up to here. I don't know if we looked closely at all the hieratic. There's also not anything especially weird in it, except for this really ugly ray sign. The red actually goes with the next line, but I've already corrected it in the repository, but I haven't actually pushed it, so it's not updated. Let's see. These are kind of weird. I mean, this one, there's a lacuna, so it's hard to say exactly what we're seeing here. But it doesn't. Okay, let's see. We've got kind of this, and then a little burp thing like that. And then in the next one, you have the same, of course, but it looks like there was a little like tick, like drawing the pen away sort of tick, and then the loopy thing gets on top of it, or even they're kind of they're ligatured, they're ligated.
Am I the only one whose screen is going crazy?
No, we lost the background.
Oh no.
We have a black screen with red flashing signs.
Oh my gosh. No, my screen just started going crazy too. This is a
some weird pink glitches. There's also
there's like a total system error.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
It looked a little bit demonic, not demotic, demonic.
Yeah, it's quite strange. Let me see if I can force quit Zoom or something and get us out of this. Huh. Wow, this has become very bizarre. Sorry, everyone. I mean, this is a OS problem, so it's going to be tough to fix quickly. Give me just a minute.
I wanted to say the 2 on the end of this line is really clear. Like you can totally see the order of the strokes. The order of the ligature, I guess. It's all one stroke, it looks like.
Everyone still hear me?
yeah.
Yep.
Huh. I'm trying to force quit Zoom, but it's even Foursquid is not working properly because like the windows aren't repainting themselves properly. Like everything has just gone completely.
You want to do a quick restart and come back in?
I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna have to do a hard restart. So I'll see you guys in a bit.
We'll be here.
Right.
See ya.
It's your hold music.
It's the visual representation of old music.
Yes, my interpretive dance of hold music.
I like it.
So I'm trying to find examples with that extra terra sign in there, and it's interesting. While Christian is away, let me share real quick. Wait, can I do that? I think I can. Yay, here we go. So Meru apparently can also have it, which is interesting because there's clearly no T in there. So why would it have
Interesting.
either of those glyphs? That is unexpected. Oh, that's KRI. I wonder if that's our text. Not sure. I forgot what the abbreviation for Horus and Seth is. But looks completely unmotivated to me. Okay, this one has a T though. And I don't see anything else here that would have that extension. Just want to share that real quick. That there's at least 2 examples here for a similar word phonetically. I have no idea what that means though. Is that just a vowel marker? No idea.
Hey guys, were you having fun?
Hi.
I saw some
Yeah.
dancing. You were still visible on my iPad screen, so I saw your shenanigans.
So
It
what
seems to
did we
be-
do? Let's do
there
the
was
out-of-body
dancing.
experience test with the envelope on top of the bookshelf. What did we do?
There was some dancing, some very fine dancing. I'll say that.
Okay.
And then there was Lesko's dictionary for a bit.
Yeah, because the word meru, what is it? Serves or something, serves lower classes, can also have the 10 in it, which is interesting.
Huh.
I can share that again.
Yeah, go for it. It's consistently in these words, but words that are semantically quite distinct.
Is there any word that's related to time or youth or something where it could just have been borrowed through association, so to say?
Like renep, to be young, the verb.
Yeah, something like that, exactly.
And it's
That would
actually
have to
the
be
one
written.
without the thing on the bottom, but they get conflated, so it's not too problematic.
Wait, so how does that to be young? How is that spelled?
It's so it could be spelled with uniliterals, but the typical sign that appears in it all the time is this one. So the little sedge, not sedge. What is this thing? Like a palm stave or something. It's this thing, but without anything on the bottom. And then there's the one that you see fairly often like this. There's one like this, and there's one that's got just like a flower pot is what I assume it is. I don't know actually what it is.
Right.
And then you have things like this sign, the ha sign, that normally has a sort of like T type shape on the bottom, but it's like a little lump of earth that the plant is growing from. So there's probably a sort of like loose connection there. In this case, it's phonetically tear, so this is connected to the uniliteral. But then obviously these three things look so much alike. So you've got like
Oops.
you've got
Yeah.
overlapping boundaries. You've got a blurring of things into one another, right?
Oh,
These
I
are-
like that. But how does
Is
it
it-
get onto Mel?
Oh,
I
I have
mean,
no idea. No idea.
That's the mystery here for me. How does it get mapped onto? I'm thinking, is there any word that would mean youth or time or something that's written with mud or murdet or something mere that could have been an orthographic borrowing, like those weird plant things where you take a whole piece of one word and glue it into another just because you always write them together.
Yeah.
So Middle Egyptian Murti is beloved. So maybe children are beloved. How about that? Yeah.
It could be something like that. In which case it would be very, very tough to ever like pin down for sure. I think there's a semantic connection actually between like meru serfs and mer to love. Lusty youths. Wow.
There you go.
Because merit is like, it's often translated serf. I think Alan translates it dependent. These are generally members of an estate who are not like the lord and his immediate relatives, but these are, you know, these are the people who bring in the harvest. These are the people who clean the estate itself, or, you know, sweep the courtyard. Like these are all people who are part of like a familia in the oldest sense of like, it's a small business. It's an extended family made up of friends. It's people. It's like a crew, like you would have on a ship. It's people who are sort of brothers in arms, as it were. So there's an overlapping of like, well, these people work for you, but they are also members of the estate. Think about the relationship between like a British aristocrat and his butler, where like, yes, that one person works for the other, but these people can also have like very deep ties of like friendship and mutual respect and shared struggles and all of these things. So yeah, so I think there's a semantic connection there. So then we don't really have any trouble saying why that sign appears in both of them. In fact, it kind of eliminates that as a source of information if there's a semantic connection, because then it's unsurprising that the sign should appear in both. But then why does it appear in either of them to begin with? We're down to one question that I have no answer to. I think what Ralph said about, so the word in Coptic is merit or menrit. It always has a T on the end. So I think it could just be that in one of these words phonetically, there's a T that is a little bit anomalous because it's not really a feminine T. It's a T that's just always there. Although it probably does originally come from like a feminine T or the T of the infinitive, because this is a third week verb or whatever. So I think it's probably originally phonetic, and then it gets borrowed around in any of the words, whether it's there or not, and just as a matter of orthography. That's my best guess. That's quite intricate, honestly. I think I'm gonna just like move on from it, because we're kind of getting into, we're getting very deep into things in a way that I don't know if it serves y'all at this time. Okay, so we've done this part. This is good. Yeah, the two. Oh wow, I mean, they really outdid themselves with that too. I'm quite
Nice,
proud
huh?
of how I traced it. Yeah, that's really nice. I mean, it flows Watch, I'm gonna say that and just totally screw it up. No, look at that, twice in a row. It flows perfectly. Like it's a shape made by the way the human hand tends to move physically. It's great. So cool. Okay. And then, yeah, Tawi Reyneb, we got to that. And then I think here we're at a part that we haven't done yet, right? Have we done this? No.
We
No, I
didn't
don't
get
think
that
so.
far.
All right. Well, let's do it. Let's start making some headway in this text. Who wants it?
It's EU Sobek something or nehe.
Yeah.
So Sobek is doing something forever.
Yeah, this is another good one. So that, how do you write that?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out even what sign that was.
So it's the,
But
is someone just screaming their head off in the background of one of y'all?
yes.
Who is it?
I don't know, people outside.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Sounds like you live in Providence, honestly. Providence, Rhode Island has like a weird, it's like weirdly socially acceptable to like shout in public in that city. I don't know why. It's like a cultural thing. I never understood it. Okay, so I think semen is the easiest way to type this. Basically the T sign with a little cup underneath. It's a mortar and pestle. T sign is a pestle, and then this is like a stylized mortar and pestle where you've got a cross section of the mortar and it's ridiculously small, and you've got a exaggeratedly large pestle. Yeah, mortar is the bowl, pestle is the stick. Okay, so now like this is a really easy way to try to answer this question. Like put in the Unicode, Command F, and like let's just go through every single time you find this. Stretched out, heavy.
Yeah, it's like a determinative for heavy or stiff or something, but
yeah, weighty,
Sobek has
ponderous,
a crocodile hide.
Wait, crocodile hide?
Like durable,
Durable, yeah.
enduring, lasting.
Burdensome, yeah. Oh, George, you're on it now. Yeah.
Permanent, fixed, firm.
Yeah. To remain, to be durable, to be permanent, all of those things. Yeah, it's and then if I were to transcribe it, I think it's this word. Remain.
Oh. Moon, okay.
Sukmun.
So while Sobek remains while Sobek remains forever, or Sobek remaining forever. I think you said last time this is this is like an exclamation.
Yeah, it's an oath. Yeah, it's just an oath. So, we can actually make this suk. And sukmunene. Like as suk lives forever, or suk remains forever, etc. And yeah, it's just a component of an oath. Given that suk remains forever, assuming that suk remains forever, whatever. Okay, and then I'll just do the hieratic really quick because it's pretty straightforward. We got EU, we got a little crocodile, so nice. Oh man, what is this weird thing? That's
Is that
weird.
the R?
It's the top of the T or something, or
What in the world?
That is weird, isn't it?
So the T very often looks sort of like this, and it's written in like 3 parts, or in 2 parts like that. But for some reason, they've gone like, how did they even do that? It must have gone this way.
I think so. Mhm.
Otherwise, it'd be so hard to land the end of that stroke where you need it. Gosh, that doesn't work for me though. Wait, can I
It's
go this way?
like a flourish. But question, can we put that into the Muller database just to see if there's a parallel?
Into the what?
Into the Muller database. Muller's hieratic database. Another fun toy that I'm not sure if we've explored it in these sessions or not.
No, we haven't, and I never use it, so I can't even remember how to go to it. I think it's in my bookmarks.
Just put Muller and hieratic or something. Yeah, and then comes the Japanese. It doesn't. A bit further down, Suku whatever university. Eh? Not there. Maybe it doesn't like the Ö with the umlaut. Let's try OE. Annoying. Give me a quick moment. How is that possible? Merle. Try Tsukuba. It's Tsukuba University. Merle Tsukuba. With a TSU. Yep, almost. There's a T at the beginning.
Oh, Tsukuba.
There you go. Scuba. Yay.
That doesn't come through in the way in Zoom. That's kind of funny. Like you lose too much of that high frequency noise to hear it.
And then let's just do tryout on top.
Yeah, I don't know how to use this. Not fully
It's
realizing.
really easy. All you need is the Gardner code for this puppy.
Okay, well, we can get that easily because I have it. It will be here. Let's see, where is it? Is it the last? Oh, it's the next last sign for U32.
Okay.
Okay.
And then hieroglyph number becomes U32, like in the middle. You can just, yep, there. And that should be it. There you go. Look, the flourish is normal.
Oh my gosh. That's
Wow.
ridiculous. That's just why. That makes no sense to me. Well, it's not weird. I mean, it's not anomalous. So, okay,
It's a new thing.
That's good enough for me.
It's kind of cool because he always gives you all three models together. So that one was
Yeah, this is so useful.
So you can see you do it in the New Kingdom. You don't really do it in the Middle Kingdom. There's just like a little bit of a hook to the side. And then later, Dynasty 25, it could be anything basically. But yeah, wow,
This
look
guy.
at that.
That is bonkers.
Yeah, it's just really, wow. I mean, what even does it represent? It's like when they were writing it before, they had like a little thing that like, I guess was part of the bowl underneath, maybe. I just don't get it. But I don't have to. That's the sign. And now I'm very sure of it, that that's the sign. So our hieratic our transcription is good. And it ends there, and there's everything. Okay, what's this next sentence say? I'm gonna pick on somebody else. I'm gonna pick on Dante.
Dude, I'm a fly on the wall here, remember?
Oh, so you don't want to be picked on?
No, I'm not an advanced student, technically. I'm a beginner, so I'm just picking up what I can.
Disagree, but okay.
I think we're all beginners at Night Egyptian.
Yeah.
Well, I'm at the level of the next class, so you know that doesn't really prepare you to translate here.
Fair enough.
So,
Aaron, you're next in line. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, sure. All right. Ich pa neti iunen ar iref. So what is that which? That which? So what is the thing that we are to do it? So what is that? What is it that we should do? En pa remech, with the two men. Neti I don't actually know how to say this. It's 80 years, but I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to transcribe that.
Everybody just writes 80, don't they?
Yeah. Oh, normally you transcribe it as 80. It is.
So we don't know how it's pronounced?
No, we do actually.
Do, yeah. There's a chapter in Alan about how to pronounce all these things.
I don't know what it is though. What is it? What is it in Coptic? What's 80?
Isn't it like Cheme or Men, if I remember right? Be right back.
Chme is 40. And then like one of these things is 8. This is like Shmen? I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Alan says Jimene.
Chemene? How do you spell that?
Hore, mu, epsilon, nu, epsilon.
Ah, Mene. Yep, that's it. Okay.
Mene.
Oof. That annoys me. I thought I had the numbers totally down and could grab them without thinking about them. So I'm not super happy about that, but there it is. There it is. Fe mene stayo. Wow. Man, my numbers have gotten rusty. That's annoying. I thought I had those locked in. Well, that's how it goes, you know? That's how it goes. That's why you got to keep studying this stuff.
Hamne in Bohairik.
Sorry?
Hamne in Bohairik, apparently. Yes, sir.
Like this? Yeah, the stress must have moved.
Same as this guy, yeah. New toys. Oh, I'm not sure if this is showing.
No, it's being blurred out like it's like
Yeah,
on
okay.
someone on cops or something. What is
Yeah, I don't
this?
know how to do it. That's the So You Want to Learn Coptic.
There's a book called So You Want to Learn Coptic?
Yeah, and it's Bohairik. It's actually pretty good.
Nice. Oh, this is so cool. Wait, did you pay 130 euros for it?
No, I didn't. If you buy the paperback in the US, it's maybe in the $50 range.
Okay.
This looks way overpriced to me. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm
It's
just going to
written
keep
for
it.
non-specialists, so you have to, if you're already familiar with a lot of grammar terms, there's some paragraphs you can skip, but it's a complete introduction to Bohairik. So far, so good.
Awesome. I had no idea that book existed. Okay. And now I have to read it because that sounds so much fun. All right. So sorry, Aaron, I know we've kind of like gotten off track.
No, not at all.
What did you have for the rest of this sentence?
Okay, where do we leave? Oh, so Renpet, 80 years. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually different. What you have is different from the gardener from here.
Wait, how so?
So after Renpet, he has Eusen.
Is it just the insertion of these words?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
So
Yeah,
he just
I
left
put them.
that
I put them
higher.
where they. I put them where they should be.
Okay.
Because it's like this is
So-
like, you know, this is like an editorial thing. This is like, you know,
So-
the thing where you say like insert this thing here.
Gotcha. Okay. I see. That's what the thing above is. Okay. So erta, so toward the Eusen.
End of sentence. And it's
Oh.
tai, not ta.
Oh, tight. Yep. Okay. To these.
Yeah, to this.
To this. Okay.
You'll have to translate it differently in English because that's not a phrase that we use. But
Yeah.
let's go through the translation. I think it makes sense.
Regarding this, like spend 80 years with regard to this sort of, as in this problem, this issue. Is that what they're trying to say?
Yeah, I think that works. I think that works really well. Okay, so what is it that we shall do for the two people who 80 years to this?
Spent 80 years. Yeah, Aurelio, what you just said, have spent 80 years on this.
Yeah, 80 years on this.
Well,
Is that how you say that? I feel like that would use hair. I understood it as 80 years until this moment.
Oh,
But I'm not going to argue that that's correct and the other way is wrong.
Okay.
I think those are both, nobody knows for sure.
That's a good point, though. You're right. I mean, if you wanted to say Egyptian at this age from A to B, would it be M-A-R-B, so to say?
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense. Because Kher is really upon. He is upon.
Yeah, and it's upon in the abstract sense of like upon a subject. Like I'm lecturing upon the subject of such and such. And it's also like that's where the pseudo-verbal comes from, right? He is upon doing such and such thing. So if they're spending 80 years doing this thing, I would expect hair to be the preposition. But if we're expressing time and then a duration of time until the present, I would expect are.
Cool.
So that's my argument for that reading. Okay, and then I'm just going to erase this line so we can continue on. And doing what or where?
Oh, I actually don't know this word. Emta, the one that starts with the right angled bit. Emta something. Convet. In the
council.
In the council. Court. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Convet. Times like these, I miss Enzo Curco.
I know.
Yes.
We haven't given up on trying to find that stuff. It's just a question of like how we go about communicating in the best possible way. I mean, from everything, I know people who know Serge Rosmorduk, and I've never heard anyone say anything unfriendly about him. Like he seems like a super nice guy. So I have every reason to think that however we go about it, we will just politely contact him and ask him if he has any information that we can use to grab that, because it shouldn't go away.
So
in fact,
like 30 books almost.
I submitted an abstract for ASOR this year in Boston in November. One of the things I'm talking about is the Zodiac project, which is what I'm working on right now for FU. And the process of creating this sort of like online academic resource and creating it in such a way that it doesn't cease to exist the second somebody stops maintaining it. This is a huge problem. And it's like in my 9-to-5 situation, that's the problem that I'm working primarily on, is addressing it. So I'm using like AWS tools that are like free tier and trying to make sure that everything is like appropriately cordoned off so that it doesn't cost money, and et cetera, et cetera. This is a perfect case study for that. So Aurelio, I know you mentioned something about contacting him. Do you want to contact Serge, or should I try to contact him and ask what to do next?
I thought about it. I thought I could just message him on Quora, because we had some exchange back and forth on some answers before, but he wouldn't know who I am because I don't use my real name there. So
right.
If you being in the field from Jim Allen's shop, I think that would actually be the best introduction if we want to go somewhere. So I think
and I have the affiliation that helps a lot with cold calling people. Yeah. Right. So okay, I'll go ahead and do that and just report back what I learned. Hopefully we'll be able to make some progress there. Okay, so the way I read this entire thing, what is it that we shall do for or with the two people who 80 years up till now, or thus far, they are in court. And then why? Oh wait, well, let's do hieratic. We got 5 minutes left. Let's just look at the hieratic in this real quick, and this is where we'll have to stop. Okay, so starting here, all this, you know, even the little kind of Z-like thing. We got our little paw bird. We got a huge paw wings that go all the way down here and somehow connect with the vulture. We got a nice netty. Big, like, ligatured netty. This all looks like it's supposed to look, and then looks also like it's supposed to look. R looks good. Ear, F, N. Wow, this is even more straightforward than I thought it would be. Oh, numbers. I don't know the numbers. They're so bad at the numbers. Okay, so we got another paw here, wings way over here again, and then Aleph bird, the word remech. They've done such a nice job because they've even put the little tick to distinguish the R from the second T, and then the generic like person and plural strokes, big giant 2 with a blob on the bottom. Again, a netty, this time not ligatured, still really easy to see. N, and then somehow this is 80.
What?
God, I'm so bad. Can I search that here? Can I search numbers?
Okay.
Please do, because yeah, they're all completely different from the hieroglyphic.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know them.
No, how does it do that? Are they like, I've never searched for numbers in there. Do you go by, can you go by word? Numeral. Let's try that. Never tried that before. Let's see if that works. Yay!
Ah, there it is. If we do something like this, will we be able to see adjacent entries? Or I guess we can just go to the paleography now because we have the number 630. Yeah, let's see. Can we look at the page?
Hey, that's, oh, so the second horizontal then in the hieratic that we just looked at, that's the preposition N.
Yeah,
It's not the part of 80. First,
it's
I
not
thought
part of
they were
80.
So you just have like 4 strokes on top and the horizontal underneath. That makes some sense actually. Instead of writing, yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of
that's it.
writing 2 times 4. Let's see what 70 looks like. Is it similar?
Oh, they seem so arbitrary to me, but I don't even know them well enough to. Oh my God.
What? Get
Yeah,
out.
right. I know, right? They're really frustrating. And they're also like, they change so much, like the demotic numbers don't look like the hieratic numbers. So if you learn one, it like pushes the other ones out of your brain. The numbers are super annoying. I always just look them up. So I've never really learned them.
That's
I'm not proud to admit. Yeah, it is. They're just outrageous. But maybe that's something we could actually work on. It's something I should work on anyway. I should just learn them once and for all. Never quite got around to it, but it's a good exercise. Anyway, well, later, more things. There's always more to learn. I'll see y'all in just a bit. We'll do some late Egyptian.
Thank
See you
you.
then.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.